She's just really going a little nutty with the liquid illuminizer. Now, she is an older woman, so older woman. She's 44. I mean, I'm 51, but as a more mature woman, right? To really talk to her makeup artist. Maybe if it's Daniel, who knows? But she needs to talk to them about dialing it down, because actually when you wear too much luminizer and you're just like, shining like that disco ball like she does, the more I was watching it, it's like there's someone or something else driving it. It doesn't even look like her normal mania. It looks completely different. I think that this brand is tainted. They are diabolical. They are satanic, in my opinion. It's all just very dark to have herself attached to this brand. I debated even turning the camera on and making a video about the fact that the Duchess of Sussex went to Paris Fashion Week apparently for the first time. So this is a huge, newsworthy event. I hesitated making a video just based on that. But then, when I was reading the articles and watching some of the footage from her walking in and out of this Balenciaga fashion show that she went to in Paris, her walking in and out, the posing, the posturing, what she's wearing, and even more importantly, the brand she's supporting, I was like, yeah, we need to turn on the camera and talk about this. And it just, I don't know, you guys, it's very dark to me. Watching the footage of her face, seeing what she's posting, seeing what other people are posting, seeing the word "backed" under all of the images online, it just all seems very dark to me. Very subversive. And I gotta say, it's the weekend, right? If you're married with children, and not the show her dad worked on, but when you are married with children and it's the weekend, for the most part, you're at home with your kids and you're living your best life hanging out and enjoying time with each other. This woman doesn't seem to spend a whole heck of a lot of time with her kids, in my humble opinion, but she's in Paris Fashion Week with her man friend Marcus Anderson. And those two are thick as thieves and have been for years, and I suspect it's because they have so much dirt on each other they could probably plant their own garden. But anyway, Harry's not in sight. Not that she would bring kids to Paris Fashion Week, but still, husband is nowhere to be found. Where are your kids, Meghan? It's Sunday. And I got out of church today, all fired up. The priest gave a great homily talking about basically spiritual warfare, like St. Paul talks about, girding your loins against the evils of the world. And Meghan Markle's been called a lot of things by a lot of people. I haven't slurred or slandered her with offensive language or any type of thing that could brand me a hater in a normal person's eyes. But I'm saying, I've used words like narcissist, I've used words like selfish, observing her behavior over the years. But just looking at this, and I just have some photos and videos pulled up here that I'm looking at that I'll run as I'm talking to you guys. But looking at this, I'm just thinking evil. It's just evil. That brand is evil. Her presence there is evil. The vibe she's exuding to me feels dark. It looks dark. It feels dark. She looks vacant. She is painfully thin, and it's completely exacerbated by the outfit she's wearing. But okay, I digress. Let's just break this up little by little. I don't want to make this video too long because again, I wasn't even planning on filming today. I'm trying to do more of a work balance for you guys. And oh, hey, by the way, I'm Jennifer. Thanks for stopping by my channel. If you haven't already, hit the like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm trying to get my views up since I took a month's vacui from YouTube, and that's kind of like a cardinal sin of YouTube. We had an international move here to Germany, my family and I, and it was just really stressful getting adjusted to a lot of things. Still is on a lot of different areas. But long story short, I had to, for family life and work balance, take some time away from YouTube. And I took about a month, and it seems like YouTube is really penalizing me. My videos just aren't getting out there. Anyway, so let's get going on the first thing I want to talk about, just her appearance. And normally we don't talk about looks and clothes and all that in any kind of negative, way like we do not do that here. But she's at a fashion show, okay? So let's just talk about the look here. I guess apparently she's wearing Balenciaga, obviously. First of all, my theory on why she's there. The guy who took over as creative director or head designer or whatever, this dude, and I don't even know his name. I'll put it somewhere on the screen. It's his first show, his first independent show since taking over for the brand. And apparently, she has some type of relationship with him, like she's worn some of his designs in the past when he worked for different fashion houses. So that's why she's there, I guess, in support of him. And I'm going to guess this is probably the first and only invitation she's going to get this fashion week. For her, it was probably pulling blood from a turnip to get this guy to even loan her a few outfits and get her an invite. But okay, from my perspective as a licensed esthetician for over 20 years, I have to say that she's looking a bit tired, and she's definitely looking a bit gaunt and very, very shiny. So, as a makeup artist and esthetician, I've always loved hair and makeup and beauty products. Beauty has always been my thing. I could care less about fashion, honestly. My mom was the opposite. My mom was always into clothes, and I was always into the beauty side. I buy my clothes off Amazon, and for me being hoity-toity is going into Nordstrom every July for their anniversary sale. So, anywho, I'm looking at this, and I'm like, what is happening? The whole ensemble. First, let's talk about the skin. She is very shiny. You guys, like overly shiny. I think she's been over Botoxed, and I think she's gotten some filler strategically placed. It looks like it's settled down a bit because she's not very round in the face since she is so thin, but I'm sure she's being extremely strategic in where she's placing filler because in a lot of her pictures since she's lost so much weight in the last 3 years or so, when she's photographed from the side and she smiles, she's got a lot of deep indentations which a lot of people think is due to Ozempic. They call it Ozempic face. So long story short, I believe she's had filler placed around the jawline, under the cheeks, and around the mouth. But what says to me crazy over Botox is the fact that her forehead is not only super smooth and doesn't show any type of texture or expression, but it's overly shiny. When you are over Botoxing, especially the forehead, and you've got a rounded forehead the way Meghan does, which I actually think is very beautiful, it really reflects light. That bone structure in itself, but the fact that she's so overly Botoxed, that really evens and smooths out the texture. So that's why she's unbelievably shiny. Also, from a makeup artist perspective, she's kind of going for that no makeup 90s look. That's what it looks like to me. And she's just really going a little nutty with the liquid luminizer. Now, she's an older woman. She's 44.